many times it is often happen that you know the answer, but you are not able to write the answer because of time, your bad time management. So you have to work on your writing skill. Then came interview part. I think this is not the appropriate stage to discuss about interview part. Whenever or any of you clear your mains examination, you can connect with me for your interview part. Now we have prelims 2000, the RJS prelims 2025. So I have tried to focus on that prelims more specifically. You have, I think your prelims is on 27th June. So now what you have to do, if you are giving RJS prelims 2025, so what you have to do first, you have to, at this stage now, you only have to revise whatever you have already read. Don't try to read new things, new topics, new subjects. Only revise whatever you have read. Once you are very confident that you have revised every subject, every topic which you have already read, then you can give some time for the left subjects or left topics which are not yet touched by you. Because my suggestion is never leave any single subject while preparing for the examination, because even though 1 mark question is being asked, will be asked from that particular subject, but that that might be the that might be the reason for your selection in that examination. So my suggestion is never skip any of the subject which has been prescribed in your syllabus. At least you should have a look at that subject so that you can answer that question at least on 50-50 basis, because we don't have negative marking in RJ's examination. Now, at this stage, you have to revise your PYQs which you have marked as difficult during your preparation phase. So now what you all have to do is just to revise your BRX, start from the index part, from the index part, try to read the provision entirely, because now they don't prefer to ask direct questions from BRX. They try to ask some complex questions from the BRX which can actually be answered from reading the provision itself. They just twist the question. So for that question, you need to read the entire BRX carefully. Talking about prelims 2025, presuming that you all have covered your law subjects. Now you are in that phase where you will start with your PYQs. You have to, what I used to do during my prelims examination, I set a time clock of 2 hours, like our prelims examination is for 2 hours. So I set a time limit of 2 hours, and then I start with a question paper just to check my writing, just to check my speed, because time management is very essential. It might happen that you leave a question about which you are not aware, but a question about which about which you are perfect, you are 100% confident, that should not be left during your examination. So for that, you need to have a good time management during your prelims. What strategy I adopted, I divided the time slot as 1 hour. During initial 1 hour, I used to mark those questions about which I am very confident, and then I fill my OMR sheet so that at least those answers are secured, about which I am 100% confident. Then I again start reading the entire paper, and now I try to find out the answer of those questions about which I am 50% sure. Now again, in my next half hour, I mark those questions in my OMR sheet simultaneously. Now the last half hour are for those questions about which you have no idea. All of you are aware that Rajasthan Judicial Services don't have negative marking in their prelims examination. So you have to utilize this loophole. You 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 should mark each and every question, even though you don't have any idea about the answer of that question. If you like assuming that you presume that you have 10 such questions, now you just mark answer A for for every question. Since there is no negative marking, so you won't be at any loss, but there is probability that you might get 1 or 2 marks by your guesswork. So first of all, you have to revise your bare very carefully, very smartly, thoroughly. You have to mug up, in fact, you have to mug up the entire bare. You can't skip the important provisions of bare. Regarding the unimportant sections, my suggestion is to have a look on those sections also, because there are always 5 to 10 questions from those unimportant sections also. Second is solve as many PYQs as you can. Third, during your examination, once you have done with your preparation and suppose a week is left for your examination, now you have to be confident about whatever you have prepared, and so that you can reflect your preparation in your examination hall. I have heard many students saying that we know the answer, but we could not we could not mark it correctly because we were nervous. So you don't have to be nervous. You have to be confident, especially in those examinations where there is no negative marking. You have to fill the OMR sheets simultaneously, so that this should not happen that you have marked the answers in your question paper, but you were not able to fill the OMR sheet. So filling the OMR sheets simultaneously is important. You can divide the time. You can divide the time for filling the OMR sheet like I did. I used to, as I said, that I used to first mark the questions which I am very confident. After 1 hour, I used to fill the OMR sheet about those. I used to fill OMR sheet for those questions. Then I again read the paper, and then I fill the OMR sheet for those questions about which I am 50% sure. And then last half hour was for those questions about which I have no idea. So this is the technique which I adapted during my prelims examination. And whatever, just keep in mind that you have prepared your examination very well. Your confidence will be the key to clear the examination during your exam. If you if you won't feel confident, and if you feel nervous at examination hall, trust me, you won't be able to answer those questions which you could answer very easily. So confidence is very important. I have also referred to the sources in my PDF, which um, from which I studied. I have mentioned all the books which I referred during my preparation phase. So you can go through that PDF just to ensure that you are on a right track. Just remember that this is a very simple examination. They don't expect a professor to be there. They just expect a normal law student who has graduated. That's all. So reading voluminous, lengthy books won't help you. Rather than reading a simple book which will make you clear your concept again and again, will ultimately help you to perform in your examination. Talking more specifically about Rajasthan, as I have said, that they have notified in your notification very clearly that 30% weightage will be given to Hindi and English. So you have to give your 30% of you have to give 30% of your time to Hindi and English as well. The sources which I referred for Hindi and English were, for Hindi grammar, you can refer any of the basic grammar book from your school days. I also referred my brother's book of class 11th, and which ultimately helped me to perform in my examination. Apart from this, There are Abhipray Institute notes which helped me in solving my Hindi paper, as these notes are very concise. So you can refer to these notes as well. For English grammar, presuming that all of us are well aware about the grammar rules, so you can just refer to any of the basic English grammar book. I refer to Utkarsh classes from YouTube. You can divide your timeline in such a way that you can give 6 to 7 hours for your law subjects and 2 to 3 hours for Hindi and English. For law subjects, I have already mentioned the basic books which I referred. We are generally afraid of the minor subjects, but trust me, they generally ask the basic questions from the bare X from the minor subjects. So never skip any of the minor subjects, as it might give you 1 or 2 marks, which is very important for your selection. I have already mentioned all the books. Talking about the essay writing, for essay writing, I referred a book with the name 151 Essay Book, and along with newspaper editorials. You have to read a newspaper daily, be it Indian Express, be it Hindu, be it any of the newspaper with which you are comfortable, but you have to read a newspaper daily, because that reading will be reflected while you will answer, while you will attempt the essay writing in your examinations. In Rajasthan means there is a separate essay writing question where they will ask about the local knowledge of Rajasthan. I forgot to mention that part in my PDF. For Rajasthan, for local essay writing about Rajasthan, I referred to a P2 PDF to 10 to 12 books from Rajasthan board. You will find these books in PDF form from YouTube, from Google easily, where they have very beautifully told everything about Rajasthan. So that will ultimately help you while you will attempt your essay writing about Rajasthan. For judgment writing, I refer to Robinjit Singh book. That one book is sufficient for your judgment writing, for your order writing, and for your charge framing. You don't need to go through any other source if you are preparing for judgment writing and charge framing column. My conclusion is don't go for n number of sources. Rather, just go for few sources, revise them again and again so that you can perform during your examination. So this is all about my preparation. If you have any of the question, you can ask. I tried to keep the session short so that you can ask your questions from me. So now the session is over from my side, and you can ask whatever if you have any doubt, anything else. Thank you.
Students, if you have any questions, you can ask from ma'am.
Feel free to ask questions as this will help you in your preparation only.
Anyone is having any doubt, you can ask, because Shangika happened to be one of the brightest student of our institute also, or college also, and she exactly knows that how to attempt the prelims question because she has cleared it in a one go. So if you have any doubt regarding language, regarding English paper, Hindi paper, you can ask. Swaminathan sir, I think students are asking the question, but इनको unmute right दिया है, please see.
Ma'am, I have received one chat about the query of one of the students. They are asking about the language paper. In short span of time, how can they target language paper, especially Hindi?
Okay. Like I also started with the language paper after the prelims date is notified. So if you are giving 2025 prelims and you have not yet started with your language paper, you you have still ample of time within which you can cover your language paper. As I have already said that I referred to Abhipray Institute notes for Hindi language. You can refer any of the basic grammar book which you have with you because grammar is always same. In fact, if you refer to school books, that will that will help you to understand the Hindi grammar rules very easily. So my suggestion is first go through a basic Hindi grammar book from any of the school board which you have, and after it, if you have to solve the P by Qs so that you can actually understand the type of questions which they want to ask from grammar section. For English, I have only referred to Utkarsh Law classes from YouTube. Again, for English grammar, you can refer to any of the basic grammar book because rules are always same. But you can't be overconfident कि English मुझे आती है. You can't be overconfident. You have to go through the rules once because it is easy for an English medium student to attempt the English grammar questions rather than Hindi grammar questions. So for English grammar questions, you have to once go through the rules for tenses, direct and indirect, active, passive voice, etc. For Hindi grammar, just go through the rules once. If you go through the rules once, so that see grammar section is very easy. Provided that we have once go through the rules. If we have go through the rules, we will be able to attempt those questions very easily. And that is actually the questions which that is actually the marks gaining questions. So this is all about. I have referred only to these sources for prelims specifically, and you don't need to read number of books for grammar sections. Just give 2 to 3 hours daily from today till your prelims, and you will be able to clear those. You will be able to attempt those questions very easily in your examination. I hope I solved your query. If you have still, you can ask.
Ma'am, one more student has one question about minor laws. So said there are a lot of minor laws, and given the paucity of time now what they have, so they are asking question how comprehensively they can cover, and what kind of questions we can expect from minor laws.
See, as I have said that minor laws questions from minor laws are generally very easy, though during our time they have changed the pattern and they have twisted the question. So my suggestion is my suggestion is just go through the entire barrack of minor sections. They generally ask section based questions. If you see the law subjects like indecent representation of people act or the court fees and stamp duty act, these subjects don't have much to read. If you go through the bare act of these subjects, you will be able to attempt your answer. So just go through the entire bare act, and since presuming that all of you might be taking some classes from any of the institute or some place, you might be having someone to guide you. They will guide you the important landmark decisions about that subject also. So all you have to read is go through the barracks, go through the landmark cases, and that's all. But my suggestion is don't skip any of the minor subjects, because even though that subject will give you a 1 mark, but that 1 mark is very important for your selection. So never skip any of the subject from your syllabus.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello.
हेलो मैम, आई जस्ट वांट टू आस्क कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन ही सॉल्व करें या उसके अलावा कोई और टेस्ट सीरीज भी या कोई और चीज़ रेफ़र करें एमसीक्यू के लिए?
भी मैंने कहा कि आपको जितना आप कर सकते हो ना, मतलब कोई लिमिट नहीं है आपके क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने की। पीवाईक्यूज कर लिए हैं और इतनी बार कर लिए हैं कि अब उनमें से कुछ भी पूछा जाता है आप डेफिनेटली आंसर कर दोगे। तो आप अब बाकी टेस्ट सीरीज है जो भी आपको सोर्स अवेलेबल मिला है, जैसे मैंने टेस्ट सीरीज नहीं ज्वाइन की थी, आई हैव नेवर ज्वाइन एनी टेस्ट सीरीज, बट मुझे यूट्यूब पे कोई लेक्चर मिलता था वो मैं सॉल्व करती थी, अन अकेडमी पे कुछ मिलता था मैं वो सॉल्व करती थी। कि अगर किसी ने कोई क्वेश्चन कहीं वो बताया है और उसका आंसर आपको बताया गया है, तो वो पेपर में आपका गलत नहीं होना चाहिए। तो इसकी कोई लिमिट नहीं है, जहां आपको मिल रहा है सो रहे हो, सोने जा रहे हो, सोते सोते यूट्यूब खोल लिया, वहां किसी किसी का कोई लेक्चर या कुछ चल रहा है जिसमें वो पीवाईक्यू एमसीक्यूज पूछ रहे हैं, उसे सॉल्व करो। इसकी कोई लिमिट नहीं है, क्योंकि क्या होगा, जितने ज्यादा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करोगे वो अल्टीमेटली आपको बेरेट मगअप में हेल्प करेगा, और आप एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में उतना ही कॉन्फिडेंट फील करोगे। सो देयर इज नो लिमिट फॉर पीवाईक्यूज।
Thank you, ma'am. These were the doubts of the students. Thank you so much for your guidance.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So,
Shravnika. Really thanks. Especially, I know that today you have to catch your train also, but on our request, you just found out time and then catered the requirement of the students. So we would like to have a session with you whenever you come here in the offline mode as well, where you can guide the students, and probably again our more than 10 students are going to appear in the prelims examination. And like last year our two students have cleared, so we are hopeful that this year also they're going to clear the mains and the interview, and definitely we'll require your guidance as well, because now you are the best person to guide them since you are sitting there and you have already cracked the exam. And I'm always grateful and thankful to you because you never say no to us whenever we ask you to guide the students. So thank you so much, Shangika, for your time. All the best, and I wish and hope that you will do the justice to the people. Thank you so much.